Well, first, as you said it, Jenna, props to Wilds. You did call this. I got to give you your credit from yesterday. And if you look at the box score, you know, you'll say, oh, wow, Booker had more points. Booker shot 61%, so Middleton's 45. It took Middleton 33 shots to get his points. And Booker got to the foul line more. He had the better game. No, it was easily Khris Middleton. It's not even close. It's not even close. Wow. First of all, Devin Booker with the 5 fouls was in and out of, like, he had to sit 5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Check his temperature.
They could have used Book for a full 12 minutes in that fourth quarter. That's number one. But the biggest thing is that Book only had 4 points in the fourth quarter. He shot 2 for 6. Meanwhile, Khris Middleton goes Kobe Bryant on him. He had 14 points in the fourth quarter. Jenna mentioned it. 10 straight points for Milwaukee in the last 2 minutes.
Wow.
He took over the game. It is not even a question which guy was better. Khris Middleton by a mile.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Keta, I know you run this show. You have one of your hosts here, co-host here. He needs to get his temperature checked. Please, Khris, please, somebody go help Khris. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Middleton had the better game. Are you kidding me? It was clearly Booker. Here's why it was Booker. Khris Middleton, he had Giannis. Giannis was a stud muffin out there. He balled out. He only had 26 points, but that's still a lot. But he did everything he needed to do on the offensive side to get his other guys involved. Defensively, we saw who he was there. He's consistent there. He also had Drew Holiday locking down CP3. CP3 was non-existent because of that. So Khris Middleton had no pressure. Booker did this, and it was like Kobe. You want to mention Kobe? It was like Kobe because of the tough shots. It was like D-Wade. Go back to 2006. The mid-range game, get into the hoop, get into the basket, because he had no help. That's why it's Booker, Nick. Think about that. The pressure this kid was on. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Booker, we're talking about the whole game. If it wasn't for Booker, they would have been blown out. I mean, you had Jay Crowder that gave you 15 points and 8 rebounds. He had 3 threes, so he helped out a little bit. But Booker carried that entire team last night. Middleton had all the help in the world.
Yeah, he carried the entire team for 3 quarters. And I feel for Book, because Book was on the precipice of a not quite unprecedented, but nearly unprecedented game. There have only been 2 times in NBA history a guy scored 50 in a finals to lock up the finals. The first one, oddly enough, was the first finals Chris Broussard ever covered. 1958, Bob Pettit did it. The other one was MJ's double nickel against the Suns in 93. In fact, though Pettit and MJ are the only 2 guys to ever even score 45 to either win the championship or, as last night would have, to go up 3-1 and de facto win the championship. Booker was on the precipice of that, and then through foul trouble or fatigue as well, because he did play 7.5 minutes in the fourth quarter, he wasn't able to get there. And so and one other thing on the Booker stuff, just public service announcement for NBA stars. Stop with the stupid take fouls early in games. Booker's 3rd foul came at midcourt trying to prevent the Giannis dunk. It could have been a clear path foul.
Totally.
The fouls count. And the 5th foul he got was a dumb play as well. Now, Tucker sold it, but he's trying to body Tucker under the basket. Like, you got to know how many fouls you have. Now, Booker evidently also knew, but I don't foul out even with 7 tonight. The refs told me I'm allowed 8, so it's fine. So maybe that's why he was not as concerned about it. But on Middleton, Wilds, my answer is obviously Middleton. Can we show the Middleton 35-point game thing? Because this is kind of crazy. Khris Middleton's whole career before this postseason, 10 35-point games. This postseason, 4 of them. And you ask when they've come. Down 2-0 to Brooklyn, 35. Down 3-2 to Brooklyn, 38. Tied with Atlanta, 1 apiece going back to Atlanta, 38. He, by the way, had 32 in the clincher against Atlanta without Giannis, and then 40 last night. So it is not an exaggeration to say Khris Middleton is far and away, Wilds, playing the best basketball of his career. And because he scored 40 and Booker scored 42, but one guy was an A+ in the fourth quarter, and the other guy, I know it says he was 2 of 6 for 4 points in the fourth quarter, but he was really 1 for 5 for 2 points in the fourth quarter because that final basket was with the game decided for Booker. Same with Chris Paul's final basket. To me, it's Middleton by a long shot, Wilds.
Okay, to me, it's Booker. I just like the narrative of him scoring 10 points, getting benched, and then him coming back. But I think his game could have been better. And Broussard, I want to show you a layup that he missed to get your take on this. It was in the fourth quarter, and he was mad that he doesn't get this call. And we're going to show it right after these plays. And he's really frustrated. Look at this. So, and he goes into the stanchion, and when you look at the replay, it's like, P.J. Tucker didn't really do anything. So, Broussard, what do you think about this theory on Booker's game overall? He was 8 for 9 from the free throw line. He got fouled 4 times, all on jumpers. Nothing underneath the basket, all on jumpers. PJ fouled him on a 3. It almost feels like his layups are also mid-range jumpers. He sort of gets to where a layup should be, and he's kind of just floating there. It's very unlike Kyrie, who gets so close to the basket that he's got to do some circus, sort of like, jelly off the backboard. But Booker's floaters are so far out that it's hard to call a foul on him. And that part of the rhythm that he was, once he sat out in the fourth, he's like, all right, now you got to find your rhythm. Get to the basket, just get a pump fake, an old school kind of ugly foul. So the theory is this: his game is so pretty, it actually hurts him. That he needs to get to the rim aggressively, not these pretty left-handed floaters. Get to the rim aggressively, get to the line, and then sort of get your rhythm back. And then 50 was on the board, but you left it on the table.
Yeah, look, I mean, he made some beautiful, you mentioned the floaters. Remember all the left-handed shots he was making, particularly in the first half, right? And some of them, like you said, kind of floaters, half layup, half floater type shots. So, look, he is sweet around the rim. He missed that one. I don't think he really got fouled. And he shouldn't be complaining anyway because he just hugged Drew Holiday in the fourth quarter and got away with it and didn't foul out. Yeah,
and
so
by the way,
he can't complain.
And this might be asking too much of guys or coaches, but after that play, there was a timeout when he should have fouled out. And Monty's been great. You know what Monty needed to explain to the Suns? Guys, we are not going to get one call the rest of the game. The refs are going to see replay, and we are not getting one call the rest of the game. There was no chance. After that's not called, and you've got to know we are going to be, the whistle's going to be against us the rest of the way. And Booker, by the way, wasn't even fouled on that layup anyway, but he's never getting that call.
And Book's got to know not to foul
the other side.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.